Hi, readers, it's Lori, and welcome back to Books, Ink, and Paper, where today we will purge, hopefully, some books that are on my shelf. This is an ongoing series that I created called To Read or Not to Read, and I just pick about 3 or 4 or 5 books every now and again and put them in a stack and then decide, is this something that I think I'm going to read, and is this something that I want to keep? So today I have 4 that I have chosen to take a look at again. So let's get started. So the first one is a very old copy of an old book called The Ceremony of the Innocent by Taylor Caldwell. Taylor Caldwell was a favorite of my sister Carol's, and I think I may have gotten this from her. It was published by Doubleday, and I'm sure this book came out a long time ago. It's not in the best of shape, this copy. It was written in 1976. And it's the story of a woman. Let me see. I have a cover, but look, a jacket, but look how beaten up that is. Oof. It's a very 70s jacket cover, though, isn't it, with the orange in the hair? Her name is Ellen, and she marries a man named Jeremy, and she's sort of thrown into this world of wealth and politics and social wealth status and a lot of changes from where she's come from. And it's set in a small town in Pennsylvania, although I think Taylor Caldwell is from England. Yeah, she is. She's from Manchester, England. But yet she came to the U.S. as a young person, I think. Anyway, it's historical fiction, actually, because it's set around the time of the First World War. So there's that. I think it's World War I. Let me look again. I should have been more prepared, huh? Hypocrisy, ruthlessness. Yeah, First World War. So I love historical fiction. And I don't really care when they were published. And Taylor Caldwell she was an award-winning writer, so this is no slouch in terms of her ability to write. All right, Gargoyle, number 44. This is a literary magazine that was released probably a long time ago as well. I don't really recall where I got this. This one was published in, I don't know. But sometime in the early 2000s. It's published out of Arlington, Virginia, and it has a number of mostly short stories, it looks like, not poetry. Well, a little bit of poetry, but mostly short stories. I don't do well with these. I don't tend to pick them up. They kind of get lost in the shuffle of other things. And it's interesting to me. I used to be someone who read a lot of short stories. As a young person, short stories were one of my favorite things to read. And as an older person, I don't love them as much as I used to. I wish I did, because there are a lot of really great short story authors. I do love poetry. I don't know. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not sure, or I wouldn't be talking to you about it. The next book, A Starter Garden by Cheryl Mercer, which is the guide for the horticulturally hapless. Now, I got this several years ago. And at that time, I had these high hopes of creating a vegetable garden and a flower garden and doing all kinds of wonderful things with my yard. My yard had at that time a pretty good set of flower beds and areas where we could cultivate some pretty things. And then lately, my partner, during this time of quarantining in place and sheltering in place, has really taken on the yard and the gardens and has built some plant boxes for herbs and for other flowers, and we put some plants in pots, and we planted some things, and she's been creating this beautiful oasis. Perhaps I should do a video of it sometime, because it's absolutely gorgeous and so peaceful. And she's kind of reworked the front flower beds too and some things. So we have a little butterfly area, and I don't think I need this. So I'm going to go ahead right now and just say, I don't think I need this. And there's probably somebody else that does, because I have somebody in my life that's really great at creating a beautiful garden. So that one's out. And then the next one is The Letters of John Cheever by Benjamin Cheever, which is his son. He culled these letters together, I guess, from the people that he wrote to. In the synopsis, it says that John Cheever felt like a letter was more like a kiss, that you couldn't hold on to it and keep it, so you might as well just, toss them away. But apparently people did not. John Cheever was very famous as well. He was a Pulitzer Prize winner, won the National Book Award, and I got this because when I was in college, I did a paper on John Cheever and on some of his work, and I really enjoyed the exploration of the novels that he wrote. And I'm looking at this, and first of all, it's a terrible copy. It's split off the binding. So let me give this some thought. All right. The chances of me reading Gargoyle are probably slim. All right, Gargoyle. Let me see. I don't recognize any of these authors. I've had this for a while. Seducing Martha Stewart is a poem. I don't think I'm going to read this. I really don't. I wish I could say that I am, but I think just generally now, it's probably not something I see myself getting to anytime soon. Taylor Caldwell, however, despite the fact that this copy is a little bit battered, I'm kind of just trying to take a look at the writing. It's very dense. Surprisingly, I'm not going to keep it. I don't know that it has pulled me in at all. I think it's beautifully written. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to read this. I don't think I'm going to keep this. I'm really surprised by that, but that is true. All right, John Cheever, because I know I'm not going to keep the starter garden. We've already established that. That was a pretty easy choice. John Cheever. I do love John Cheever. I don't know that I want to read these letters. He does talk a little bit about where his dad went and where he was when he wrote some of these and who he met and why they're important. He went to Hollywood for a little while. I don't see myself reading these letters either. It's interesting. I love an epistolary novel where letters tell a story, but I'm not real crazy about reading people's letters to other people that I don't know and that don't really have any significance to anything really happening other than the development of their life. And that sounds really snobbish, I guess, in some ways. But I guess what I'm saying is, if this were Winston Churchill's letters or journals, for example, or if it were the letters of a first lady or someone, and it was spanning a time in history that was important and that had sort of a, I don't know what the word would be, sort of a significance to something that I would enjoy, I would keep it, but I don't think I'm going to keep this either. So out of these 4, oh my gosh, I'm getting rid of all 4. Is that the only time that's ever happened? I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look back. I don't remember. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It may have sparked some interest for you in maybe not these books, maybe, or in just decluttering your shelves and getting rid of some things. I'm really going to the deep, deep recesses of my library first, the ones that are maybe easier for me to consider. And then later I will get into the ones that might be slightly harder, or the ones I've already read that I'm definitely ready to unhaul. But for me, this just gives me a steady framework that I do every month. I just pull some books, I take a look at them, I decide if I'm going to get rid of them, and then and do what I will with them. So right now it's a little harder to get rid of books. The little free libraries are for the most part closed. I have one that's still open in my community that I know of. I haven't ventured out too far to see if one of the others is. And then of course there's some in little towns next to me too. But a lot of them are closed and for safety purposes. And the Goodwill, I'm not sure if the Goodwill is taking donations right now. That is also a question that I can't answer. So I'll probably need to be creative in unhauling these, but I'll figure out a way to do it. Thanks again for showing up today and for watching this video. I hope you're well wherever you are and that you're staying healthy and you're not struggling with the restrictions and challenges of all of the things that are going on too much. I know everybody's struggling to some degree, but hopefully you're kind of getting into more of a routine now that this has become more of what we consider to be our current new normal anyway. Hopefully not for much longer. I appreciate you. I have some exciting things coming up for the next month to help create my TBR, so stay tuned for that, and have some more videos that I'm excited to film coming up soon. So stay tuned, and as always, happy reading. Bye.